See, a journey is alone. Before you take life on this planet, you're shown different alternatives, different scenarios. And based on what you need to learn, you pick the most likely parents. And then you are born through them. Neither do you belong to them. Neither are they the cause of your birth. You choose this life. But very early, you're taught that this is my father, my mother, my sister, my brother, my this, my that, this continuous connection. Right? And we are involved in this large, ever-increasing web of relations. You can't marry this into this community. You can't talk like that in front of someone. You can't sit a certain way in front of someone. You can't talk about this topic in front of somebody else. So many rules. So many rules. And we start discovering that our own state of mind is controlled by the people around us. So if the people around you are centered and comfortable and nurturing, you tend to be that kind of a person, happy and centered. If the people around you are extremely demanding, you're nervous and jumpy. And if the people around you are downright rude and horrible, you get indignant and unsure of yourself. How much is our life going to be controlled by the people around us? There is nothing you can do to really change anyone else's journey. You can only deal with your own journey. You are in charge of your own destiny and nobody else's. That is your main goal. At all times, to be centered, to be peaceful, to be joyous, to be happy, so that whoever comes in contact with you gets a little of that. You don't want to be around people that are angry and that are accusing, that are judgmental, right? Do you? Does anybody want to be around such people? No. Such people make you feel very anxious, very unsure. And when you're in a bad situation, you want words of comfort. You want gestures of comfort. You automatically go to certain people. Mom, I want to come home. I always tell her that whenever I feel that I'm not getting that from the people around me. I want to go where I always get it. Always, no matter what, to my mother. Right? When your mother hugs a child, regardless what that child has done, that mother will defend that child no matter what that child does. I was so shocked watching Narcos when I saw that Pablo Escobar's mother just defended him endlessly. Here we needed some other kind of defense, but here is a perfect example that no matter what this child does, there is one person in this world that loves regardless. feeling what other people are going through is what is called delusion. So when you get tied in to their journey and what's happening with them, to the extent that the major portion of your day, the thoughts that are racing in your mind are their thoughts about their situation, then you're not functioning at optimal capacity. You are going to be of no use to yourself or to them. In order to be useful to someone else, you have to develop the perfume of compassion. In Sanskrit, that attachment that we have to the family, to friends, that is called moha. It is delusion that comes from attachment, because your whole world reality changes because of what is happening to your son, to your father, to your mother, to your brother, all these people around you that are deciding what the quality of your day is going to be like. How can you be useful to anybody if you're carrying so much burden yourself? When you do for others, you do it with a spirit of sacrifice, as if you're pouring ghee into a fire. You don't think of what are the results. I know there are several people who do for others, who develop this web of relationships for recognition. Like, oh, that person always does. She's very well known for doing this. She's the organizer. She's the one who arranges, public meetings. She's the one who does everything for us. She's the one who comes and, when we had a bereavement, she did this. When we had this thing, she did that. So many. There are people that do this for recognition. There is no recognition in giving comfort. You do it for no reason, because it is your nature. It is your nature. I remember, I think I've told you this once before, I was pregnant in Mexico with my second baby, and I had a car accident, and a week prior to that I had gone and I'd met a few Indian people, and I was lying down in bed in not knowing what to do, because I have a small 6-year-old child and just arrived in Mexico maybe 4 or 5 months, just so unsure. And this lady comes and knocks at my door, and she's taken 2 buses to come. And she comes and she cooks me 14 dishes for 7 days. She stays for hours and just makes the maid chop everything, cooks everything, puts it in my fridge and goes away. So, the universe gives you what you need. If you are in trouble, I really wanted my mother that day. I really did. I wanted comfort. I was scared something was going to happen to my baby. I didn't know what to do. And here this wonderful lady walks into my life. And then comes every 3 or 4 days, calls me on the phone. She became like a second mother to me for the time that I was expecting, and even after my baby was born. The universe provides you with whatever you need. Never worry that somebody's going through something. There will be someone that will give, that will come, that will appear, that will help. If you have grace in your life, you will be the one. You need grace in order to help anyone else. Not all of us get the opportunity. And if you're looking for the opportunity, it will never come. Sometimes it's your very nature. Sometimes it's your very nature that you just come and help. So, what can you do You do for others what comes naturally to you. Nothing contrived. Nothing contrived. You have to remember that sometimes when people are going through very difficult times, you need to be a little bit tough. You know, like when your children are doing something and which you know is wrong. How you haul them up, right? You tell them the way it's supposed to be told. That happens to friends, that happens to a lot of people that are going through, because you can see where they're going wrong, but they are so mired in that cesspool that they are in, they can't see it themselves. And if you are the chosen one to help them through it, you will be giving them that branch to pull them out. It just gets done, no? They have a Christian prayer, thy will be done. So when they say, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, okay, what does it mean? It really means that this consciousness, this vein of godliness, it goes through all of us. It connects all of us in an invisible web. And what is required will be given to you. You will get the help you want if you are supposed to get it. If it's not your time, you will recover from a disease. If it is not your time, you will be that refugee that makes it across. If it is not your time, you will get that job. If it is not your time, that addiction will be history. Somehow it comes through. You are never given something you can't handle. You're never given something you can't handle. Don't let other people's problems get you down, because then you are of no use to them. How can you help anyone when you are so burdened yourself? You're not sleeping at night. You're thinking all the time. You're so worried about what tomorrow is going to bring, how you're going to retire, what's going to happen to you, who wants to be around a person who's continually anxious. I don't like it. It catches you. When you're with a person who's continually anxious, you find yourself anxious. You know, because in a low moment, you'll catch that thought. Because it's all consciousness, right? We're all connected. I always find that when I'm in a group of women that are gossiping, suddenly there are these words coming out of my mouth about other people. And I'm like, I don't gossip. I never gossip. What am I saying? It just happens. It just happens. I don't like to put down groups of people. But if I get caught up in a room where they're all saying something, suddenly I find myself siding one side or the other. Why? Because that's the way it is. That's the way it is. You have to be that source of comfort that pulls away from all the groupthink, you know. That's always in a calm, beautiful state. That's always the helping hand. That's always the sanctuary. That's always the peace. That's always the refuge. Life is a joke. It is. It's all this stuff happening. My sister always says, she says, God is sitting there, you get cancer, you get a heart attack, you lose your child, you know, there's someone having fun out there. That's what we call in Sanskrit, it's called Leela. It's called the Leela of life. The mystery that we will never understand. We will never get it. We can live 1,000,000 lifetimes. We will never understand the purpose of it all. That's why I tell you, keep it simple. Recognize that happiness is your birthright. Be happy just now, today and every day, and don't let anybody deny you that. Not your father, not your mother, not your brother, not your sister, not your children, not anybody. The stuff that's happening in their lives, they will deal with. You deal with your stuff. Don't make everybody's problems yours. Offer a helping hand. Offer some support, but don't get into start walking with crutches. You don't have to. We have a tendency to do that, right? I have to correct myself many times. With certain people. Not with everybody. I can be very dispassionate with a lot of people, but with certain people in my life, I wear the crutches for them. I don't need to. And I have to remind myself every time, don't wear their crutches. Don't wear their crutches. That's their problem. That's their problem. They will find a solution. You can help. You can't live their life. You can't wear their crutches. Stay centered. Do the practice. Trishulam, breathing, meditation, knowledge. Breathing, meditation, knowledge. I keep saying it again and again, in the hope that you will include all three in your life every day. Because if you do, then the magic in your life will unfold. And whoever you come in contact with will benefit from that. Things will go well in everyone's life. The problems will become small little hurdles. Nothing so big. There won't be such huge walls standing in front of them. Just a little hurdle that you can jump over. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to live our life effortlessly. And the blessing is that of the divine. And the divine is in you. So there's nothing to worry about. Just be peaceful and meditate every day. And the grace will just flow in your life.